Imagine waking up thousands of years ago. No satellites, no apps, no friendly robot saying, recalculating route. To ancient humans, Earth began at the campfire, stretched to the river, and ended where the horizon rudely hid every detail. Mountains became walls. Seas became monsters. Forests became suspicious green mazes where every squirrel might be an omen. A valley was not just land. It was food, shelter, ancestors, danger, and the sacred place where stories learned to breathe. Before maps were drawn, maps were walked. Paths lived inside memory, song, scars, and arguments about who took the wrong turn. The sky was the biggest screen available, playing stars, moon phases, seasons, and cosmic spoilers every single night. People watched shadows shrink and stretch. Birds migrated. Floods returned each year like dramatic villains with excellent scheduling. So, Earth looked alive, moody, and personal. Rivers delivered gifts, while storms demanded respect with thunderous customer service. The first world picture was not planet Earth. It was our place, surrounded by places people mentioned nervously. Every group built a center: village, temple, palace, mountain, river, or city that made reality feel organized. Beyond the center came rumor geography: giants, spirits, endless water, burning deserts, and travelers with suspiciously upgraded stories. Visual gag: a traveler points to a cave wall map labeled, probably correct, unless eaten by bear. But these early views were not stupidity. They were survival tools, built from what people saw, measured, feared, and remembered. The question was not, what shape is the planet? It was, where are we safe? And why does the sky move? And once humans asked that, Earth transformed from ground underfoot into the greatest mystery map ever drawn. Ancient Earth was rarely just dirt. It was a cosmic neighborhood, with upstairs gods, downstairs spirits, and humans renting the middle. Many cultures placed their homeland at the center, not because everyone was arrogant, though some kings definitely auditioned daily. The center was where order began: temple aligned with heaven, capital organized law, and river organized life. A map could say, here is the world, while secretly whispering, and here is who owes taxes. That is why ancient maps mixed roads, myths, monsters, gods, and politics, like a documentary edited by a priest. The unknown was not empty. Empty space is modern boredom. Ancient unknown space was crowded with warnings and wonders. Edges mattered. The edge of sea, desert, or sky became the edge of certainty itself. Past that edge, imagination marched in wearing armor, feathers, thunderclouds, and sometimes an aggressively symbolic snake. Earth could be a disk, island, square field, mountain system, layered tree, or sphere depending on the question. Farmers needed calendars. Sailors needed stars. Priests needed order. Rulers needed maps, making the palace look inevitable. This is the key. Ancient worldviews were practical, spiritual, and political at once. Multitasking, but with more incense. Visual gag: a royal cartographer draws the king's palace larger than the sun, then receives a promotion. Some models were symbolic, not literal travel guides. Nobody needed weekend directions to the underworld. Yet symbolic maps shaped real cities, temples, calendars, voyages, and identities. Ideas about Earth became architecture and power. Now let's visit one of the oldest surviving world maps, Babylon's tiny clay tablet with massive cosmic confidence. In ancient Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates, Earth looked organized around cities, rivers, scribes, and very serious clay paperwork. The Babylonian map of the world fits on a tablet, yet tries to capture geography, myth, and cosmic boundaries. At its center, Babylon, drawn not humbly, but like the universe had reserved VIP seating for the city. The Euphrates flows through the mapped land, because rivers were ancient highways, supermarkets, irrigation pipes, and drama generators. Around the known world sits a ring of water, called the Bitter River, like Earth wearing a cosmic moat. Beyond that ring are distant regions, strange places, and narrative fog where geography shakes hands with mythology. To modern eyes, it looks wrong. To Babylonian eyes, it organized the important world: cities, river, empire, edge. Maps do not only measure land, they measure importance. Babylon appears central because Babylon mattered to Babylonians. Shocking, I know. The tablet reminds us that ancient maps were not always navigational. Some were cosmic statements carved into durable mud. Imagine a scribe pressing lines into clay, basically creating a Bronze Age world infographic without an undo button. Visual gag. A tiny cuneiform note says, "Map not to scale. Do not sail directly into cosmic ocean." The Babylonians were skilled astronomers and record keepers, watching sky patterns with patience that makes modern attention spans look tragic. Their Earth was not isolated from heaven. Land, stars, kingship, omens, and gods belonged to one connected system. So, to ancient Babylon, Earth looked like a meaningful center surrounded by water, mystery, and divine paperwork. Next, we go west to Egypt, where Earth lies under a sky goddess, and geography flows north every year. In ancient Egypt, Earth did not simply sit under the sky. Earth lived inside a sacred cosmic arrangement. The Nile was the spine of daily life, delivering water, soil, transport, food, and annual suspense. When the river flooded well, life smiled. When it failed, everyone suddenly became a very serious meteorologist. Egyptian geography trained people to see order. Desert on both sides, fertile black land beside the river. Above this ordered land arched Nut, the sky goddess, often shown stretching over Earth like a star-covered ceiling. Beneath her was Geb, the Earth, while Shu, the air, held sky and ground apart. Cosmic teamwork. Excellent posture required. The sun's daily journey mattered deeply. It rose, crossed the sky, vanished, and returned through divine mystery. Earth looked like a sacred stage where sun, river, king, tomb, and afterlife all performed in rhythm. Temples, pyramids, and tombs were not random stone flexes. They connected human order with cosmic order. A map of Egypt was therefore not just where things are. It was how life keeps defeating chaos. Visual gag. A scribe labels the desert: sand, scorpions, regrettable sandals, while the Nile gets 5 golden stars. Egyptians observed stars carefully, especially for calendars, ritual timing, and aligning sacred architecture. Yet the Egyptian world picture remained poetic. Earth below, sky above, underworld beyond, all connected by divine cycles. Their Earth was not a dead rock. It was a theater of rebirth, watched by gods and measured by floods. Now, let's climb into world models where Earth has a cosmic center. Mountains and trees that hold reality together. Many ancient cultures imagined Earth not flat or round first, but centered around a sacred vertical axis. Think of it as the universe's main support column, except with more gods and fewer building permits. In Hindu mythology, Mount Meru stands at the center of the universe, a golden cosmic mountain of divine order. Meru is not merely a mountain you hike with snacks. It is an axis connecting Earth, heaven, and sacred space. Temples could echo this cosmic mountain, turning architecture into a miniature universe made of stone, symmetry, and devotion. In Norse mythology, Yggdrasill, the immense world tree, connects realms including Midgard, Asgard, and underworld regions. Here, Earth looks less like a map and more like a vertical network. Roots, trunk, branches, worlds. It is basically ancient cosmology as a giant tree diagram, except the diagram may contain dragons. These models answer a different question. Not how many miles wide, but how are realms connected? Sacred mountains and trees made Earth meaningful by linking human life with gods, ancestors, death, and renewal. Visual gag. A tired messenger climbs Mount Meru holding a note reading. Delivery address. Heaven, near thunder. World axis ideas appear widely because humans everywhere notice vertical drama. Mountains above, caves below, stars overhead. Up becomes divine, down becomes hidden. The middle becomes human, where everyone argues over crops and destiny. So, Earth looked layered, connected, symbolic. A cosmic building with humans stuck on the noisy middle floor. Next, we enter ancient China, where heaven and earth became a grand system of order, calendars, and imperial power. In ancient China, Earth was often imagined through order, directions, seasons, rulers, rituals, and heaven's patterns. A famous traditional idea pictured round heaven above and square earth below, a cosmic geometry with political consequences. This was not just decoration. The emperor ruled under heaven's mandate, so cosmic order mattered intensely. If eclipses, comets, or strange sky events appeared, court astronomers did not casually shrug and blame bad Wi Fi. They recorded celestial events carefully because the sky was treated as a message system tied to earthly rule. Calendars were power. Predicting seasons helped agriculture, ritual, taxation, and the basic survival of everyone eating rice. Earth looked like a moral and political field under heaven, where proper order kept society aligned. Ancient Chinese astronomers also created systems for tracking stars, planets, lunar mansions, and cycles of time. The sky was not background wallpaper. It was an imperial dashboard, and nobody wanted the warning lights blinking. Visual gag. A court astronomer sees a comet and instantly writes, "Definitely not my fault," on bamboo. Like Babylon and Egypt, China linked geography, astronomy, ritual, and government into one world picture. The exact physical shape of Earth was less important than Earth's place inside a cosmic political order. That is why ancient Earths can look strange to us. They answer questions modern maps usually ignore. A modern atlas says where. A cosmological map says why. Ancient China cared deeply about both. Now we move to Greece, where philosophers attacked Earth's shape with geometry, shadows, and dangerous amounts of confidence. Greek thinkers inherited older myths, then did something extremely Greek. They argued with the universe using geometry. By Aristotle's time, educated Greek astronomy had strong arguments that Earth was spherical, not a flat stage. One clue came from lunar eclipses, when Earth's shadow on the moon appeared curved. Another clue. Different stars become visible as travelers move north or south. The sky changes with latitude. Ships also disappear hull first over the horizon, which is bad for flatness and excellent for dramatic exits. The Greek spherical Earth was usually placed at the center of a larger spherical cosmos. That part was wrong by modern standards, but the geometry was powerful and beautifully organized. Earth became a mathematical object, round, measurable, centered, and surrounded by heavenly motions. Visual gag. A philosopher points at a shadow and shouts, "Behold," while everyone else just wants lunch. This shift separated symbolic world pictures from physical measurement without fully abandoning cosmic meaning. The Greeks still loved perfection, circles, spheres, and models, making the universe look like divine clockwork. But once Earth became a sphere, a new question appeared. Exactly how big is this thing? That question required not mythic mountains, but mathematics, observation, distance, and one very patient librarian. His name was Eratosthenes, and he was about to roast ignorance using shadows. Grab your measuring stick. Ancient science is about to do something ridiculously impressive. Eratosthenes lived in the Hellenistic world and worked at Alexandria, one of history's great knowledge hubs. He heard that at Syene, near modern Aswan, the sun shone straight down a well at noon on the solstice. But in Alexandria, at the same time, a vertical stick cast a shadow. Tiny shadow. Enormous implication. If Earth were flat, sunlight should hit both places at the same angle. Awkward silence for flatness. Eratosthenes measured the shadow angle, estimated the distance between the cities, and used geometry to scale up. The angle was about 1/50th of a full circle, so the full circumference was 50 times the city distance. Different ancient units make exact conversion tricky, but the estimate landed remarkably near Earth's real circumference. Modern accepted circumference is roughly 24,855 miles by one common meridional measure. Visual gag. Eratosthenes drops a ruler, whispers science, and a dramatic lightning bolt politely applauds. This was a world-changing mental move. Earth was no longer merely imagined. Earth was measured. No satellites, no lasers, no GPS, just sunlight, sticks, distance reports, and a brain doing geometry gymnastics. The ancient Earth now had size. Not perfect size, not modern precision, but a testable number. That is the birth of a different world picture, one where observation can correct tradition. Suddenly, the planet was both home and object, sacred ground and measurable sphere. But measuring Earth is one thing. Drawing it on flat paper? That problem is a cartographic boss fight. Centuries after Eratosthenes, Claudius Ptolemy tried to turn the spherical Earth into organized map data. His geography offered coordinates, instructions, and a vision of the known world from the Mediterranean outward. Ptolemy used latitude and longitude, which sounds modern because it became the skeleton of later cartography. But ancient data had problems: rumors, bad distances, missing oceans, and travelers exaggerating like professional fishermen. The Mediterranean stretched too long. Asia grew too wide. Unknown lands were filled by assumption, not satellite photography. Still, Ptolemy's project was revolutionary. He treated geography as a mathematical system, not just a story collection. Visual gag. Ptolemy's map assistant asks, "Source?" A sailor replies, "Trust me, bro." Projection became the nightmare. How do you flatten a sphere without making something weirdly swollen? Every flat world map lies a little. Ptolemy simply helped make the lies systematic and useful. His work later influenced Islamic scholars, Byzantine copyists, Renaissance printers, and European map-making traditions. Ancient Earth, once a sacred center, was now becoming a coordinate grid. Less poetic, but excellent for arguments. Yet Ptolemy's world remained limited to what his information networks could reach and verify. So his Earth was not the whole planet. It was the known world, stretched across ancient knowledge. That is the pattern. Every world picture reveals the limits of its tools, roads, ships, math, and imagination. Now, in the final chapter, we ask, what did ancient humans actually get right? So, what did Earth look like to ancient humans? The answer is many Earths at once. To a farmer, Earth was soil, flood, season, and sky. To a sailor, it was coastlines and stars. To a priest, Earth was sacred order. To a king, it was territory, taxes, and divine branding opportunity. To a Babylonian scribe, the world could be a meaningful disk, bounded by cosmic waters. To Egyptians, Earth sat inside cycles of river, sun, death, and rebirth under divine sky. To mythic traditions, Earth connected vertically through mountains, trees, heavens, underworlds, and sacred centers. To Chinese astronomers and officials, Earth belonged within ordered heaven, calendars, omens, and imperial responsibility. To Greek mathematicians, Earth became a sphere whose size could be argued, observed, and measured. To Ptolemy, Earth became coordinates, still flawed, still brilliant, and still hungry for better data. Visual gag. All ancient mapmakers argue in one room, while a satellite quietly enters and everyone screams. The mistake is laughing at ancient people because their maps look strange. Our maps also simplify reality. Every map is a choice: what to show, what to hide, what to center, and what to ignore. Ancient humans saw Earth through survival, wonder, power, memory, measurement, and myth. Honestly, we still do. Their Earth was smaller, stranger, more sacred, and sometimes more imaginative than ours. And from their campfires to our satellites, the same question remains: where are we, really?